What we on? What number?
Let's go. 19.
19.
No, 19.
No, 19.
Insert clip, yes.
Anti-war song, 19. No, 19.
Hello everybody, welcome back, episode 19 of the Sherlocks podcast. You're joined by Trent, Brandon, Alex and myself. We're going to be talking absolute nonsense, like him last night, for as long as Trent can get out of the edit. We're back, baby! Woo!
Good morning.
What we been up to?
Go on, Alex.
I went to the pub. I had my best mate's baby shower yesterday and I'm feeling it today, unfortunately.
That was me yesterday. I went to the pub Saturday night, literally for a couple of pints, and ended up on banana sambuca, so...
Oh!
Look at that for a banana, by the way.
Oh,
Then we're going to go in bin. I went, whoa. Don't be throwing them. They've reached their peak.
Right, looks like it.
They've reached their peak.
It's on the point of possibly going other way, but that is, how do you like your bananas? Ripe. That is ripe. You know that's going to be good.
There's only one thing that's fit for, and it's banana bread.
You know what, I said that? About another 4 like that. I'm not eating 4 of them.
I think they're one of them bananas, but as soon as they get past the point and then you're eating it and it's a bit, I feel like I'm going to be sick here if it's far too ripe.
Bananas that are that have got no brown on them, that's not a good banana. Or a green one. You sometimes get...
I mean, who's eating green bananas?
I was going to say, who's going, I really fancy a green
Well,
banana.
I'll tell you, perfect example. We used to get fruit, believe it or not, on his rider. And whoever geezer were who were getting all stuff from shop, a few times you'd see some bananas rock up and they weren't even yellow. They were just like, just coming out of the green phase, going into yellow, and you just think, that's not going to be nice, is it? That needs another 2 weeks in fruit bowl.
Yeah.
With some direct
That'll
sunlight.
be good for the next tour.
Yeah. But that, however, that is a perfect example. You just know that's going to be good. It's going to be sweet. I tell you what, these bananas as well, they've been opening themselves. They've been splitting.
What, would eat me?
Yeah, let us know in comments.
Wait, bin me. Get me in the bin.
They've been taking the jackets off. Anyway.
Not like we're talking about bananas now, but I used to make a smoothie. Used to just get a banana, big spoonful of honey, and then milk, and just blend it in NutriBullet. Gorgeous. Absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
But I don't eat that much fruit, to be fair. I should do. Find it hard work.
What's your favourite fruit?
Probably banana, but I can't be doing my apples. I think they're too... It just does my head in eating apples.
I like a grape.
Find pears can be a bit messy.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I had a pear.
That's the thing. It's not the thing that you always go for, is it? But I always find pears. They can just drip down you.
That kiwi.
Used to love
Class, but effort.
that. Nah, not if you get your spoon.
I tell you what I do like. Pineapple.
Yeah, I like pineapple.
In summer.
Like pineapple.
Yeah.
Pineapple's quality.
I was doing that in summer last year or whenever it was. Get a pineapple, cube it up, bang it in a tub, and just put it in the fridge in summer.
Me and our Kieran at his nan and granddad's, we used to have, it'd be like either pineapple or peaches, you know, when it comes in them tins and it's just syrup and you'd be drinking syrup out of quality. Absolutely gorgeous.
Satsuma, that got overlooked. Satsuma's nice.
Yeah, easy.
Can't
peel.
say the same about an orange.
An orange.
A little bit trickier. Bit more resistance to come off. They want to keep the jackets on. And all that white stuff underneath the skin.
Have you ever had a blood red orange? I bet Trent has.
No,
I don't know. I think I have, but I don't know if it was the real thing. We were in a blue moon and somebody said, oh, it's blood orange. And apparently they've been soaking these slices of orange in port.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a real blood orange, though, is it?
Do you know anyone who's ever had a grapefruit?
Grapefruit, not a fan.
Sour in it.
Only in an Elvis juice.
yeah.
Brilliant in an Elvis juice. But no, I remember having it once. I think it might have been when I was a kid or something, and I was just like, oh, what is this? If it tastes like that, it's not going in my mouth, basically.
Yeah, it's fair dues. What have you been up to, Trent, this weekend?
Saturday I went on a little pub crawl in my village and ended up in a pub. I watched that Pool Era. They're that band that I mentioned a couple of podcasts ago, saying that they're like really local lads to me. They were playing a free gig, so just went in and watched them. Really nice guys, actually. I'm now in talks with recording them in my home studio. I'm only up the hill from them, so
bit of networking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bit of a business trip.
yeah. Yeah. That's the only reason that I went.
Did you get your receipts? Well, anyway, we're pretty close to closing deal.
Yeah. About to sign the contract.
Nice.
I know, signed them up for 4 albums. Well, they went for
Contract, big boy. Saturday Blood Pump, where you at?
Yeah, then watched United lose yesterday.
Honestly, I didn't. I hardly even watched it.
Is a coconut a fruit?
Yeah, I'd say so.
They're a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, of
Or
course.
is it a nut?
Wait, let's have a look. I'll Google it.
Yeah, it's got. Well, it's not a vegetable, is it?
But is a nut a fruit?
Vegetable.
Is a nut a fruit? A nut's a nut, isn't it? A nut.
A nut's a nut.
Yes. It says, yes, a coconut is a fruit, not a nut.
Well, yeah. Didn't even think about that.
It's a fruit with a hard shell and a fleshy inside that contains a seed.
What?
That's what it says. Despite having the word nut in, it is fruit.
I can't be doing with coconuts.
Damn.
I bet you're one of them where they come down the beach and you're like, yeah, give me a couple of coconuts.
You're one of them where you take bounties out at celebrations, aren't you?
Coconut is just. I mean, I love it in curries and stuff, but I just can't be doing it. I think it's that desiccated coconut. It's horrible.
They're weird, aren't they?
Very weird.
Meighan.
Are they hairy or furry?
Yeah, you have to shave them.
They have a bit of a
Hairy
weird.
nut.
They are strange.
They're a mad little
Yeah, the
thing.
hairy nut.
It's like a hard shell. It's weird. Proper weird.
I'll tell you what, how many people a year get killed by coconuts?
Not many.
I think you'd be very surprised. I bet it's quite a high number.
Alright, let me Google it.
I reckon it fair hurts. Well, you'd be dead, but...
Well, how big are they? Not that big, are they? I don't
Says
think you'd be-
150.
Well, when they've got the... See, that is quite a high number.
It's a myth. It's not supported by scientific evidence. Guess how many people die by sharks a year?
20.
50.
It says 5, but that seems awfully low. I bet there's more injuries than
Sharks.
Then again, if a shark gets older, you've pretty much had it, unless you're Paul Sykes.
Would you rather go by a crocodile or a shark? I reckon a crocodile would be more brutal.
I reckon a shark, I think you'd probably drown before you'd... A crocodile would just be a pure...
Well, the spinning all of it show as well, aren't they? Spinning you. Pretty horrific. I think I'd take a shark.
Take a shark.
I prefer a shark.
I know many people who's won a battle against a crocodile.
I bet there's a few. Them saltwater crocodiles, they look brutal.
They're proper.
This is quite the podcast this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's coconuts and crocodiles.
I reckon. What do you reckon's older, shark or a crocodile? God, shark, can it?
Crocodile.
Yeah.
Prehistoric.
Conflicting answers.
Yeah, they had them megadons, didn't they?
I don't know. Well, I think
Megadon.
Megadongs.
Let's Google it.
Megalodon.
I feel like sharks. I reckon
Crocodile.
older.
It says...
Sharks are much older.
Are they?
That's what it says. Yeah. Well, I think they reckon, don't they? Every bit of life has come from the water, the sea. Like everything come from there. So
Real legs and the
there's much older.
spider walking.
They are prehistoric though. Them. It says sharks have evolved over 450 million years ago. They are older than dinosaurs, so they've been about a bit.
Yeah, and they survived.
Tastes a bit coconutty, this. It's that ripe. It's entered a new level of sweetness. It's like, it's a bit mental. You know what I don't get? You know these people, scientists, archaeologists, when they work out how old stuff is, how do they know?
Yeah.
I know how they do it, obviously, like looking at, well, I don't actually, looking at bones and stuff and being like, oh yeah, this was 450 million years ago. It's like, how they stuck a number on that?
That carbon dating, innit? I think. With the
Yeah,
Am I being silly?
I know, it is a bit weird. It's like 450 million years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between 400 million years ago?
Or 440 million. Like, yeah, we estimated we're 450 million years ago, and it's like 450 million.
It's even the same with like stars when they or galaxies or whatever, and they're like it's this many million light years away. It's like how do you even know?
I think best thing to do is just take the word for it and just go sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to
They
argue
know
with
something
you
we
on
don't
that
know.
one.
I trust you.
That's the thing as well. There's a lot of stuff that's been like, it's been in like books and stuff like that, and people have just took it as a thing. But all these things always get disproved eventually anyway. Or didn't they try and prove, or did they prove that Pluto into planet or something like that?
Yeah.
And it's like for years and years, like probably about 100 years or something, it's been in all books. You learn it through school and that. Oh, Pluto. Oh, there's 9 planets or whatever, and then they prove that it weren't actually a planet.
How many planets is there?
8, I think. 8. But obviously at school we'd have grown up learning there were 9 or whatever. So they always, as science and technology gets better, they're able to prove prove and disprove stuff a little bit more.
Can you name them all?
No.
Straight off the bat.
Mercury, Venus,
Jupiter.
Uranus.
It's like my very easy method. Something like Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. I don't know what's happening.
Right
Jupiter,
method.
Saturn.
I love how you're going.
Uranus,
Well, my easy
Neptune.
method is like you say, you
List
need
them
to
out,
use it
yeah.
every day.
Don't explain the method. Just
No,
proceed
I
to
can't remember it after my very easy method. I'm like, what's after that?
Well, my easy method is Earth, Jupiter.
No, that's the saying. My very easy method.
Oh, right.
And then, like, because it's Mercury, Venus, my very easy, Earth, Mars. It's what you learn in school, but I can't remember it.
Well, you've got to see on that one.
Just looking out of our window here, I think someone's nicked one of our wheelie bins.
Really?
Well, you
Weird.
did have 4, didn't you?
Well, yeah. Right, I think that'll do for what we've been up to.
Yeah.
Turned into Animal Planet. And bloody Blue. What's that program called that Attenborough does?
Blue Planet.
Blue
Yeah.
Planet. Animal Planet.
Love stuff like that. Right programmed.
Oh yeah, easily. He is
Proper Sunday TV, that.
Cracking on, isn't he? How old's he now?
going to be about
Got to be
90.
pushing 100.
Yeah, easy.
98,
That's mad, that.
93, 98.
98.
98.
Is it 98?
Legend.
I quite like that. I guess how old someone is. I quite like that.
There
yeah.
is. He's one of them guys, isn't it, where it's like a bit like Queen were. You know, like they've always been present. Like ever since you've been alive, it's just been like there's like a constant there with him.
Yeah.
He is like a legend, isn't he?
Is he?
I'm on a
Love
pound
him.
coin.
You love him.
I won't go that far. I want to know.
Not Nick Airway.
Very passionately. Going, I love him.
Oh, I love it.
I love you.
No, but his programmes are absolutely mint.
Yeah,
I love his
he's
voice.
Very relaxing.
part of his fan club, aren't you?
Yeah, I might write to him tonight. Current affairs.
What's been happening, Fraudy? Have you seen out? Any crashes?
No. Oh, I'll tell you what has, going back to crashes, they've resumed the search for that MH370, haven't they?
Have they?
I don't know.
Yeah, Malaysian Airlines, after 10 years.
Have they?
Yeah.
What have they
So
done for
stop
10
searching
years?
for it
Could have
tonight.
been looking for it.
Well, apparently they've got some new info. So if they find that, that'll be absolutely massive.
You think they will?
Pretty sparse place where they're looking for it, but you never know. It's obviously got to be somewhere, hasn't it?
That's it. It's got to be somewhere.
That's a classic saying, isn't it? When you're trying to find something and somebody chirps up in background, going, it's got to be somewhere. It's like, obviously. Otherwise it'd be nowhere.
Piers Morgan has returned to Good Morning Britain after 4 years.
Who?
Piers Morgan.
Are you saying PS?
You say Pierce.
I know.
Pierce.
It's Pierce.
Piers.
Piers.
It's not Pierce. It's
Yes.
Pierce.
Oh,
Piers-
to be quite honest, I don't care because I don't even really like the bloke anyway.
What's it called?
Piers is my eardrums.
Hey, you are saying Pierce.
I know. What is
I
it?
thought it was Piers Morgan.
Pierce Morgan.
Piers.
Who's that?
Well,
Literally like a peer. Not Pierce.
right, I'll stand corrected.
Pierce.
I should not have brought him up. I should not have brought him up. I don't know. What, anything else, Trent? We got out?
I saw a protest in Greece about a train crash from 2 years ago, something where a passenger train crashed into a freight train. I don't actually know why the protest is. I can't remember. I should probably have researched a bit before talking about it, but there's protests anyway, and it's bad.
So I'll tell you what. Did you watch any of the Brits?
No.
I saw a clip of Sam Fender though.
That is current affairs, to be fair, yeah. Brits, no. I don't think I've ever watched the Brits. I think last time I watched Brits, I don't even know if it was Brits, is when Peter Kay hosted it.
Oh yeah, well I was on about that yesterday, and when he called Liam Gallagher, he went, when Liam dropped the mic.
Yeah. Was that Brits?
Yeah, that were Brits. Yeah.
Feels a bit... Well, it is false, isn't it? It all just seems a little bit like... Tank got the edge.
Dude,
It
that
just
was
feels
15
like,
years ago.
yeah, it just feels like everyone's just trying to act really weird now, for some reason. I don't know if it used to be like that, but it feels like everyone, when they turn up to these premieres and that, it's like, who can dress the weirdest?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? I
Or
feel
wear
like
the
it's
least.
But you know what I mean? It feels like it's more a...
Castle on your head.
What's it called? They're
Yeah.
fancy dress.
Yeah.
Who was it
you
who
that
wore
video?
that castle on the head?
You see that video of that bloke? Them blokes. And there's police and he goes, right, whatever he's saying. Yeah, there's 5 of them or something. One of them's dressed as fancy dress.
Oh, yeah.
Dressed as Hulk Hogan. And all his mates are going, he thinks he's fancy dress. He comes out like this all the time. Insert clip.
They're in the back garage of two. Some are wearing fancy dress. One has Hulk Hogan.
Someone's wearing fancy dress. You think he's fancy dress? He comes out on that time.
Seen one here on MEN. Rochdale is to be the next greater Manchester town of culture. Don't know how we managed that.
Rochdale.
Yeah.
Town of scruffs.
Is it the Five Sisters or something?
The Seven Sisters.
Seven Sisters, that's the one. Nice. Might be a big old party.
Also, in current affairs, we've got a new album coming out.
Woo!
Not going to bore you too much.
Beautiful.
Yeah, lovely stuff. In fact, I will take this one out. I think it might be the... it's not. I don't know where that is. It's indie vinyl. Well,
Good.
Yeah, the splatter.
Trent will make
think
it
I've
pop
got-
up. Now,
If you do want a personalised vinyl, as in handwritten message, we've teamed up with Banquet Records again, and it's an indie vinyl. Mackie's just about to get it, and it looks insane. Basically, we did it on last album, didn't we? And we had to go in and write all these these personalised messages, and there were some real funny ones. So if you do want us,
Yeah, they were.
we are only doing a select few, but because we're there all day, if not. But if you do want one, you get one ordered, pre-ordered, and write your message, and then we'll write it on for you.
this is the indie vinyl.
The belter.
All your lyrics there to learn for the tour. And then, look at this bad boy. Class. Be very careful.
Got to get that on your drum skin. That question mark.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Leave a comment. What do you want to see on front of Drumskin, everyone?
Yeah, I could do a poll.
Yeah.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Do a poll. Could be Laurel and Hardy. Could be just one. It could be the question mark. It could be
I love that. The, what do you call it? What's it called? That little circle.
label. Vinyl
Label. Yeah.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah, that's cool.
What about the individual images? I think we should just pick one and just stick that on front of drums. On front of Drumskin.
I agree.
About the lion.
Yeah. What is it? Is it the lion off MGM? You know, like the film thing? I can't remember.
I think so.
What is it, Kate? You know the lion on the front?
Yeah. It's off the... God, what it's called, that film company.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah,
no,
MGM.
Yeah. Is it that? The Roaring
Yeah, I
Lion?
thought it was.
Let us know in comments. What we're thinking is basically which image off this, if you had to pick one and blow it up and stick it on front of the drum skin, do you think it'd look best? For example, the star, the eye, Gene Wilder. Let us know in the comments.
I like that. Steve McQueen one looks pretty cool.
I think that's pretty cool as well, the question mark, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
any.
It's the inner sleeve as well. I think it looks cool.
Stick Elmhurst up front.
Yeah, almost. I had a fair share of them the other last week, right?
Oh, yes.
Unreal. Things that grind your gears. Baby showers. No, I don't grind my gears. I do think it's a bit pointless though. Unpopular opinion, let me know in comments. I don't know. Baby showers, gender reveals.
I seen a funny one the other day, one of them. Absolutely hilarious. You've probably seen it. It were, can't remember it on, probably Instagram or something, and they're doing like a gender reveal. And the woman who's filming it going, who's the dad? Is he the dad? Like, I absolutely ain't got a clue who dad is. And he's going, yeah, he's dad. Like, it's just like videoing all this thing, and I was laughing my head off thinking, it's like in a car park or something outside.
I think I've seen that.
Have you seen it? They're all having a beer outside, and they're going, who's dad? Is he dad? Like, I ain't got a clue.
I hope comments are like, what in the universal credit is going off here?
It's just
A
mental.
little miracle.
Yeah.
When you see them when they go wrong, like in America, and
That's
they'll do it
it.
on like a shooting range or something.
Carson
go
Lennox,
wrong.
calling me Little Miracle.
Yeah, things are going your gears. I don't think I've got one this week.
People who put salt on the fish and chips before the vinegar. And I know it's salt and vinegar before we start with that, Trent. See, I don't know. What do you all put your vinegar on first or your salt? Ooh, the tension.
I don't put vinegar on.
Ooh, you don't?
But
No,
What, do you not like vinegar?
not a massive fan of it.
You probably stick it in
It's
fridge,
controversial.
you go.
I'm not a big fish and chips lover. I do like it once in a while, but it's such a heavy
Something you eat
setting
every day,
meal.
isn't it?
Well,
Eh.
but there's some people who do.
Not been prepared this week. That grinds me gears. Prior to recording this, it went absolutely everywhere, all over me. Popping that cap on that lid and not spilling
I'll
it.
tell you what winds me up.
Go on.
You know when you only because I've had it over the last week or two. But you know, like when, for example, you're trying to talk to somebody, as in like a person, when you're complaining or you've got a query, you're talking to like a chatbot thing, and you're just thinking all I want to do is speak to somebody on phone, or you want to know you're talking to a person who can sort it, and it keeps sending you random things. Or when you, I don't know, for example, if you ring your mobile network up and you've got all them menus and you go through and you get ready to end and then it'll send you back to the beginning because you've not got to rate play. That does me in. I feel like it should be a lot simpler just to get somebody on end at phone and just get straight to the point.
I literally just press like loads of numbers, so it like confuses it, and then it will just like go connecting you, and I'm like, get in.
Outsmarting the robot.
Yeah, to the point where it can't deal with it all.
Well, yeah, outsmarting it.
I haven't wrote any down this week. I'll tell you what winds me up. It's not a big thing. When you order, it's quite expensive these days, I think, Starbucks. When you order, say, a flat white with an extra shot, and then when you finally get it, they go, flat white for Kieran. And it's like, an extra shot, come on. Which, ooh, that winds me up.
You want them to announce that you've had an extra shot in it?
Well, more than announce it, put it in.
He's not. He's hard.
You don't fill me with confidence.
He's hard.
Watch it, lads. He's hard.
He's got an extra shot.
Yeah, yeah. Get out of the way.
Not the announcing.
Step back.
Well, look, it is the announcing bit. It's the putting it in though.
Yeah, just so you know it's in there.
Yeah. It's like going. It's like you going, can I have a flat white, please? And I'd like an extra shot in there. And can I have it with whatever you put in it? Syrup. And then they just go, flat white for Brandon. And you're thinking, have you stuck any other stuff I've asked for in it? That winds me up. That does wind me up, though, seriously. When they just go, flat. You're hard.
You're hard.
Ask everyone.
Listen.
Does having an extra shot make you hard?
Yeah. It does.
Makes you go to the toilet.
Well, I'd say more times than
I've
not.
got a funny story, actually.
Go on, then.
Speaking about that, I remember when, I think I was in year 9, and my mates, we went up to the lakes, like a PGL thing.
Oh, yeah.
You stayed with your mates in like a tent. Yeah.
In the tent, we stayed in cabins. You must have got
I've stayed in a proper
emu
thing.
version.
Anyway, I had like an orange juice that I had like just obviously for drinking, and my mates thought it'd be funny to put laxatives in my drink. So the middle of the night, I'm getting up like Jesus wept. Anyway, the next day I went to I went blaming the kitchen. Like I was like saying, your food's made me have like the squits and everything. Like I've been up all night, bloody. Turns out with my mates. I don't know how I got onto that, but yeah.
Well,
Prank tight.
little pranksters.
But yeah, PGL class.
I did that. Went to somewhere in Wales, I think it was. Pretty sure it was.
Oh, Shropshire. There's one in Shropshire.
No, I don't know where it was, but I can remember staying in like this big. I'm not sure if it were like a big, not a hotel, but like a hut or something. I can't remember, to be fair. I was quite young, but I remember doing abseiling.
Yeah.
For the first time, and I was like thinking, Jesus wept. And then once I did it once, I was absolutely buzzing.
I didn't do that. I bottled it.
Did you?
Bottle job, yeah. I didn't. Obviously, I ate heights anyway. But
I do, but I thought, right, I got over edge, and then after I knew crackbit thing, I was absolutely loving it.
there were two things I didn't do. One was through pure fear, and other one was I had a bad toenail.
A bad toenail?
There were not orienteering. What's abseiling? That I was like, yeah, I'll miss this one. They were sticking some right pressure on, to be fair. They're like, come on, do it, you'll feel better. I was thinking, oh, wait, I will not feel better for doing it.
I used to love that. Did you ever go on geography trips?
Yeah.
You know,
I
at school? Friggin' mint. I used to love that. I used to love geography. And I used to love doing orienteering as well, because it used to be like a rate day art. I used to have a rate
that.
Why?
Orienteering. I don't know. I just had a feeling you were going to say it. I've just
loved it.
What else?
Cross
country. I used to hate that.
I'd like to do it again, to be fair.
What, orienteering? How's it work now? Isn't it? Do you get like coordinates?
Yeah, you get like a map. Not a map. Well, I think it is like a... No, I think you do get like coordinates, but you get like a little... It's like a book. You have to find a point around these things and you stamp the thing. But you have to get them all, so you go from point to point to point. But when you're at school, you'd like split into like groups of 4 or 6. So it was like your team versus their team versus their team versus their team. Yeah. And you'd all set off and it become like what should have been like a thinking thing. It turned into like everyone just running around like lunatics to try and beat each other.
Yeah.
And then you'd like, well, they've gone over there, it must be over there. So then it'd be like, and then it'd be going, no, it's not, it's over there. So then you'd be, it were good though, it were right. I think that's a proper good thing as a school trip.
Weren't the instructions like 50 north or something?
I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. I just remember.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know how they measured.
I think you got a compass.
Yeah, you got a compass, so obviously you know if you're going north or south or whatever, but I'm sure it was like a number like 50 or something, and I'm sure it was like 50 steps north. I don't know. We'll have to look this up. It was good though.
It was good. I love that. I thought that were a mint school trip.
Orienteering and then find yourself in a Weatherspoons.
Yeah, that's what happened now.
Yeah, orienteering, class.
This is the new music section. It's where, if you've never watched this before, it's basically where us four give you a tune you may or may not have heard. Could be old, could be new, but it'll be new to somebody who's watching it. So, do you want to fire away, Frody?
Yeah, so my tune this week is Tom Meighan, and it's That We Can Do It. I think it was Key you showed me.
Yeah,
the other
good
day.
tune. We can do it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's that new album's pretty darn good.
Sounds fat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Who's recorded it, but I think it's exactly what you want. If you're into Kasabian, it's literally, obviously, it's always going to sound like Kasabian because he is the voice of Kasabian. But musically, there's sorry, I'm taking over your tune here, but yeah, that album, there's a lot of like little nods to like things that Kasabian have done in the past, like drum beats, which sounds daft, but they've got like some iconic. Do you know what I mean? Like you hear certain beats and you're like, that's a Kasabian beat. Good. We can do it.
Even some like the BBs are a bit Surge-esque, I thought, as well.
Yeah.
But nah, it's cracker.
My tune is a tune Alex told me about, actually. Nobody Does It Better by Carly Simon.
Absolute belter, innit?
Yeah. Well, you were like, you've heard it. You've definitely heard it. And I was listening to the beginning. I was like, I don't know. And then, obviously, you reach a point where you're like, yeah, I have heard it. Great tune, yeah. In fact, you were saying it'd be a good tune to put in our pre-gig playlist, maybe. You know, like, maybe in between supports or something. Not before we come on, but like just somewhere within the night, like after first support or whatever. Like a proper sing-along.
Well, the other, I was working at this sort of site the other week, and there were like plasterers in, there were joiners in, everybody. We had Radio 2 on. I think it was like Vernon Kay, and that came on. Literally every tradesman in this building started singing it. I was like, it's an absolute classic. Well, it's Bond theme, isn't it?
Nobody
The soundtrack.
better. Yeah, so if you haven't heard that, it's not new. It is new music because it's a tune I hadn't heard for ages and I probably didn't know what it was called, but turns out I did know it. But if you're not familiar with it, Carly Simon, Nobody Does It Better. Really, really good song.
Right, mine this week is by a band called The Cheap Thrills, and I think the tune, I think it's Codependence it's called. It's a right tune.
I've heard that.
I had Alexa playing, or I had some music playing in kitchen and that, and it pricked my ears up. I thought, that sounds mint. And to the point where I walked in to find out who it was, because I thought, that sounds mint. I've not heard this before, but yeah, The Cheap Thrills.
It's called Codependence.
Yeah, it goes. It's it was the first bit that sounded really like. It sounds massive. Sounds proper like just like a massive tune.
Yeah,
but I was listening to it. And I thought, I don't know why. I thought, who sings this? But it sounded absolutely. It just sounds huge.
Are the Scousers?
Yeah.
No, are they?
I think so. Well, going off the singer, sounds a little bit Scouse.
Yeah, good tune. Really good tune. Check that out. You'll enjoy it.
Nice. I'm going to go with a new band that I found like last week or something called James and the Cold Gun. They released a song called Cut the Brakes that I quite like. I was going to mention the song Guessing Games because that was one that I was listening to last week when you said, what were you last listening to? But they're both two good songs. I think they're from Cardiff or something. But yeah, they're proper rocking. It's kind of a theme for me. All the songs are going to be quite rocking or classic rock vibe. So yeah, check them out. Good band.
Great.
I've got a story.
Let's do it. Stories, bosh.
I took our Denzel out other day. I was going to be in on my own, so I thought, just basically to waste the day, Saturday I think it was, I thought, I'll just take him out again. And then I'll come back and then come in here, just have a night in studio. He'll be absolutely shattered because he's been on 2 walks. He'll fall asleep back there. I'll pour myself a nice little triple caramel and sit in here and chill. Turns out he didn't chill, but this isn't the story. So I took him out. I was going to take him round woods, which would take me 15 minutes to drive there. And I realised it's starting to go dark, so probably 6:30. So I thought, I'll just take him where I took him earlier, Hoober Stand. So I'm walking upfield, and I'm quickly realising it's getting darker by the second. And as Brandon knows, I'm scared at dark. So walking upfield, just get to woods. By this point, I'm towing to even see him walking upfield behind me. I'm thinking, right, this is probably a bad idea going in woods. And then the mental battle inside my head just said, now sack that key. You're a big boy. You're 29. Obviously, you're hard as nails. You fight any man, anytime, any place, anywhere.
You have an extra shot. You're hard.
I have an extra shot in my coffee. So I set off in woods. He's been a little bit tricky, to be fair, sticking anchors on. Get up to Hoober Stand. By this point, it's really, really dark, like pitch black. Sensors are heightened, and I don't eat carrots, so my eyes are not that good. And then I start heading back down woods, right? By this point, it's proper sketchy, and I'm a bit shifty, like thinking this is a bit weird. Coming down hill in woods, and then there's just a lantern in bush, which freaked me out, to be fair, because why would there be a lantern there? So I clocked it, and I'm like, chuffing hell. I don't know why a lantern scared me, but just a bit weird. And then I took a second glance, and this is about 7 o'clock, but it's pitch black in these woods, right? Then there's just a geezer sat, like, with his back to me, right? Next to this lantern. I can barely make him out because his lantern's not the best. And there's a stand, and he's got like a book open, like look like a mini Bible or something, on this like stand that you'd get in a church, and he's just sat, not moving. Swear down. I don't know if he were doing satanic rituals or what, but
So it goes.
Go.
didn't move.
Yeah, get up, you go.
I was just like, what the? Like, that is weird. And he just weren't moving. But like I say, it's pitch black, and his lantern were like not the brightest. So I could barely see his face, but he had like an hat on. You know, like a dappy hat at her end up, where it covers your ears and that.
Yeah.
He had like one of them on black. He was dressed in black. Couldn't really see his face. He weren't moving.
Would it trend?
And it was just facing like this stand. And I could just see there were like a little book open. He was just facing field, but it's just where he was and everything. He was just crouched down like on this hedge line. And I thought, right, this is weird. So I carried on walking, and by this point, you're just thinking, this is proper weird. Like, what the hell's he doing?
Yeah.
So I got down to the bottom, at hill, well, close to the bottom. Then out of nowhere, do you know where a death whistle is?
Oh, yeah.
I heard something like that. Insert clip, Trent, for anyone who don't know what it sounds like. Just like a proper...
Screech, innit?
Like a proper horrible scream, but I don't think it were him, by the way. I think it were a bird. There were enough in there to hear, like, it probably were a bird, but it proper scared me and our Denzel today. It scared him. He's looking at me like, what the hell was that? And I'm looking at our Denzel like, I don't know what that was, right? And then he did it again, and I was like, right, I'm proper freaked out now. Like, I've got a geezer up there with a lamp doing satanic rituals. There's death whistles going off. So it's funny because he actually got a proper march on. Like, we're both just marching, and it's like he understood what to do. It was like, yeah, let's get out of here. And I had my wellies on, and I was like, I'm just going to get in the car with my wellies on here and just bomb it. I didn't. I took my wellies off, but as soon as I got in the car, I locked door, and I took about 3 seconds to start engine. I was just like, right, I'm not doing that again. But I have said I'm going to go back up to them woods. I might even go tonight, generally, just to...
Video it.
I will.
Log it.
Yeah.
I swear down. Because I said, I want to go back up just to see if he's still there, and I can show you what I saw, because it was weird. And I spoke to my dad about it after, and he's the one who said he might be doing satanic stuff. And the more I think about it, the more I think, what if he was?
That's gone for some peace and quiet.
Weird, very weird.
That is strange, but yeah, some people could have been a Jehovah's Witness.
You see all sorts up there. I went up other day and there were a geezer just with a canvas art painting. Lovely day. I've seen people...
Slightly more normal.
That were weird though. It doesn't sound weird because we're saying it and it's just broad daylight, but put yourself in that position.
It does sound a bit weird.
It was pitch black and he was just not doing anything, just sat, not moving, but like I could barely see him anyway, but it was definitely a person.
How close were you to him?
Close enough. About a car length.
God, pretty close then.
Pretty close. Maybe length for our Sprinter, Max. Probably closer.
Did you say up to him?
No, but weirdly, I do say if I see strangers or whatever, I'll always be the one to look up and be like, all right, pal, or whatever. So my first thought were like, obviously I didn't even see him. I just saw a lantern. That freaked me out at first. I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. Then looked again, saw him, but could only just make him out. And he had an hat on. And then I would just like, obviously it spooked me again, but first thing I was going to do is like say, all right, bro, it's just how he weren't moving. And he definitely would have heard me because I was proper shouting, Denzel coming down there. I was just like, go on, Denzel. And then, like I say, before you know it, I was next to Goff in the bush.
Right, well, that's story time.
Well, we'll keep you updated anyway.
Yeah.
If I go to the woods tonight,
Yeah, go down tonight or whatever.
Do a video and send it Trent, and then we'll stick it in where it happened, even if he's not there.
Yeah.
Maybe you could Google it. Maybe it's like a common thing.
What's that there?
Yeah. No, it is, honestly. So I've just Googled it, Hoober Stand.
Yeah.
And this is, there's a YouTube video, a satanic worship ground or a place of tranquility. So, yeah, I think there's, what you have seen is possibly satanic worship.
Well, he's going to find out. He's going to get a video for us.
Are you telling me
So
I've walked past a geezer who's worshipping the devil?
The devil.
Upside down crosses and stuff.
I'm telling you, mate.
I'll tell you what, you found yourself a goth.
I think I've dodged a bullet with that one.
I'll tell you what, why don't you invite him to your goth night?
Yeah.
That's actually scary. He could have killed me.
I'm only telling you what the spirits are telling me.
Spirits are telling me.
I say,
Yeah, you need to.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm only telling you what the spirits are telling me.
sacrifice me. Ask him.
Ask him. Yeah.
I'm asking him nothing, son.
Just go up and say, how do I get involved in this kind of stuff?
I'll say,
Trainee goth.
ACDC.
I'm a trainee goth. I'm mates with another trainee goth, and we're trying to get into this.
Is this Ramstein?
Yeah, it's a Rammstein. Yeah.
I'll go, yeah, kid. What you reading there, Shag Nasty? Can I join you?
Yeah.
He'll go, pull up a chair.
Come under
I'm
my
just
wing.
eating a bat.
Yeah. Get under my cape. I'll take you under my cape.
Well, in all seriousness, that is possibly what I've witnessed. A satanic worship.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you updated. I'm going up there pretty soon. I don't think we'll see any trainee goths in this light, but I'll go up tonight. If you go down to the woods tonight, you might just find a goth. I'll go tonight. Swear down. I'll leave Denzel though. He's not getting involved with any
No,
satanic.
it's right. It is right what Fraud is saying. It's saying Hoober Stand in Wentworth. The area is a hotspot for both dark witchcraft and devil worshippers. That's mental.
Oh my god, it's scary.
The hill near me, Pendle Hill, that's known for having like the Pendle witches and witchcraft up there.
No, it's right. No, it's right. This because it says here. It says a satanic worship ground.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
mental.
You're walking up
Should have
there.
saved this for Halloween. Halloween special.
That's crazy though, isn't it? Because we're not talking about ghosts and witches and oh yeah, there's ghosts floating around there. There's actually a bloke who's I've seen him. I've been close, and he's sat in a hedge line, practically in a bush, with his lamp and a stand with a book on it.
So he's in the bush.
He's in the bush. He's literally. Can you see me? He's sat in the bush on something like a little stool like this, and he stands there and he's just like that. I couldn't make out his face. He might not have even been human.
Might not have had a face. Oh, imagine if he turned round and it was just there was no face.
Yeah, it's mad that. It does say, I'm just reading up on it a little bit. It said it was built in 1700s, but it's saying that the Tower House, they used to imprison people who were suspected witches in there.
It's funny. The whole thing's funny because going into woods, obviously when it's dark, not even for bloody goth or ghosts or witches reasons, just for pure safety, a fellow human attacking you. I will contemplate not going in. I was thinking, just leave it. It's dark. Why go in woods? Nah, when it's dark, you're just putting yourself in unnecessary danger. And then the other side to it is you think, well, what are you on about? Because who's going to be in woods? Who's going to be in woods waiting for somebody? Do you know what I mean? if there was somebody in there who was going to hurt you or kidnap you or whatever, they're taking a chance that somebody's actually going to come into the woods. So for all that time, they're just going to be sat there like a little weirdo in woods thinking, wait till someone comes in, I'm going to get them. There weren't any of that, though.
Why don't you take a little stand on a book? So you could get
I might go to his spot. I'll beat him to his spot.
Yeah.
That's mad.
That is a bit risky.
It was weird, though, honestly, because, like I say, I can't get across how weird it actually was. It's only when you put yourself in my position, you're in woods, it's pitch black, then you see a little lantern that's not even that bright, and then you see a geezer there. Most people would turn around and be like, all right, mate, or whatever, like, I'm bird watching.
What in dark?
Yeah.
Exactly, it doesn't add up. What are you doing?
That's weird.
It must be.
Yeah, there's something obviously weird happening there.
At what point is he thinking, right, I'll stand up, I'll go home now? What's he doing?
Yeah. And if he's reading just in really dark light,
Yeah, he's reading.
it seems a bit inconvenient.
He's obviously a bit of a nutcase, isn't he? Because not many people go into woods like that.
He's reading. What's he reading? Why is it on a stand? Why not just hold it in your hands? That's the weird thing. The book were on a stand.
Yeah, that is bizarre. It's got to be. It does sound a bit satanic.
It's
like
weird, isn't
culty.
it? Because if you really wanted to have some peace and quiet and listen to birds, whatever, go to the woods. But you don't need a stand for your book. Leave the stand at home.
This story needs to continue.
Well, here's a question. How often, if you're doing satanic readings or rituals or whatever you're doing up there, how often are you going to do it? So this happened on Saturday. It's now Monday. Is he going to be there again? Is it once a week job?
Is Saturday the day of cult activity?
I don't know. They might have a day off. Goths, do they have a day off on Monday? I don't know.
Trent?
Maybe. I don't know.
As soon as we're off this call, I'm going there anyway. I'll take a video and show you where it was, and then I'll go tonight.
It does say here, I'm just reading up, there's some on TripAdvisor about it. It says, when yeah, no.
Come and stay with a goth.
No, it's not just thing, is it? TripAdvisor. It says thing, because TripAdvisor's like, things to do and stuff like that. It says, review of Hoober Stand. Went for ghosts, wasn't disappointed. Me and my dad went ghost hunting after hearing stories about it being haunted. After me being terrified that we'd actually find something, I decided to not turn our SB7 spirit box. Something moved in the bushes. The EMF detector went off and we legged it.
Nah, stuff's always going to move, but...
It was a gust of
Probably
wind.
in bush.
Went for ghosts, wasn't disappointed. Went for ghosts.
Wasn't disappointed.
Got 50 reviews, this place.
I'm going to watch that video, I think. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to watch
That
it.
is really interesting, because I just started off jokingly, like, oh, maybe it's a satanic rituals. And then the more we speak about it, the more it's like, no, I think you actually might have, that's what we're going off.
100%.
Weird. And I was pretty close. I was like behind him or to the side of him, waiting for him to turn round. And he was just sat in complete silence. And I'm here with Denzel, and I just thought, let's get out of here. And then obviously, a minute later, that bloody...
Let's get out of here, Scooby.
death whistle sound.
You should have gone up behind him and gone, boo.
Yeah. You go, hey, you daft bugger. You scared me to death?
Just got here. So this is the lane you have to come down. Up that field. All the way over there. And up to there. Behind there somewhere. You still can't see, but it's behind them trees. That's where we're heading. Right, I walked up here. I feel like I'm clocking trees a lot more now and looking at little markings.
Well, I don't know.
I'll tell you another thing I've just realised. There's loads of these everywhere. One there, look, bang. More down there. The plot thickens. So I walked up here. I walked down there. '17th century. It's an old one. Bit of a mad building, to be fair. But yeah, walked here. Beautiful. Right, that's where I've come from. I walked down here. And then I were here. Literally here, and there was a lantern there. And then as I walked down, clocked it, and there was a bloke sat down in bushes there. It's funny because it just seems completely normal now, but yeah, loads of them. Look at this. Telling you. Definitely think there's some mad stuff going off there. Just walking up, started paying special attention to all trees now, and no joke, key. Could you even write that? One frigging tree. So I count next. What did we see? Middle. Here's a little party trick. Good boy. Well, anyway, that's enough of that. If I do decide to go up on a night, which, I'll be honest, not fancying it, you'll see this video next. And if not, this will be the last video you see. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hello everybody, my beer review this week is a drink called Triple Caramel. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but that's how we say it. I don't know who it's brewed by, but I've got it on my perfect draft at home at the minute, so quite lucky. It's quite strong, it's 8%. I feel like it used to be 9%, but I could be wrong, hence the triple. But yeah, solid drink, had it before, but quality. Here we go. It's unreal. I can't lie. It's unreal. It's a solid 9.5 for me. I mean, I'd give it a 10, but it's not much of a reviewing score, is it? 9.6, 9.7. It's quality, but it's not a session beer. Don't be mistaken. If you drink too much of this, you'll be on your back. Or drink as much as you want. Whatever. Drink responsibly. But I prefer to drink it in smaller amounts and not have as much. Just have a couple, and it's quality. It's caramelly. It's a bit banana-y. It's mint. It's quality. Triple Caramel. Get on it.
This is my beer review. I think pronounce it Bacchus. 15%. No, it's not 15%. It's 5.8%. It's 15% cherries, which I didn't know. Yeah, Belgian beer. Comes in a nice little paper thing. Yeah, we'll give it a review. It's very sweet, but not sickly sweet. 5.8%. It don't taste like it's 5.8%, to be fair, which is a bit scary. But yeah, that's solid drink. I'd give 8.5, 9 out of 10, especially for a cherry beer. If you do want to try it, I think there's some of the most decent supermarkets. Alright everyone, here's my beer review. Still unfiltered. I'm going to guess, because I have had it before, it's better than the normal stuff. But we shall see. No shadow of a doubt. It's better than the normal Stella. But yeah, that's mine.
Alright everyone, so for my beer review, I've got one that we've spoke about quite a bit on the podcast before. I have gone with Delirium Red or Delirium Cherry, whichever one you want to say. Yeah, we love it. We've spoken about it loads on the podcast. It's a Belgian beer. Just drank it a lot in Belgium and had some good nights on it. So yeah, it's a cherry beer. It's 8%. You can't have many of them. We could. Yeah, it's a strong beer. So yeah, I've had it before, but here we go. Beautiful. It's just so nice. Even at 8%, it's very sweet. Not too sweet. Nice enough that you can probably drink quite a few of them, but you will feel it very soon. So yeah, I'll have to give this 9.5. That's my score on the Delirium Red.
Everybody, this week's guest is an old friend of ours, actually. Been touring in and out like the same time as me and Brandon. We've crossed paths many a time. We played gigs with him. They had a name change. But yeah, this is a guy called George from the band Big Image. If you've not heard of him, check him out. Class band, really interesting music. Yeah, we hope you enjoy it. This is our chat with George. A special guest this week is George from a band called Big Image, formerly Ivory Wave. Thanks for taking the time, George, and chatting to us. We'll not keep you too long.
So, man, it's good to see you lot again. Long long time no see, like I said.
Well, we're podcasters now.
Yeah,
We're, doing this full time.
We try our best.
Yeah, we've all got a couple of questions. Like I say, we'll not keep you too long. Is this right? 2016 is when you started, obviously.
I think so, yeah. It's ages ago, mate.
Yeah, similar time to... I mean, we started... That's probably around the time our first album came out, actually. 2000.
I think that's probably right, actually.
Yeah.
Because me and Luke saw you lot supporting the Libertines at the NIA, something like that, in Birmingham. And at the time, I think literally it was like the week your album came out or something like that. It might have even been before, to be fair.
Yeah.
You'll probably know better than me. But.
Yeah, I think it was before. I think that was first... No, it weren't. What first one... I think we did 3 gigs with Libertines, and it was 2016, I think. And I think we did Cardiff, Birmingham, and I think we did Bournemouth or something like that.
Yeah, we did,
something like that.
Yeah.
Got my phone nicked while you were playing.
Did you?
Yeah.
No way.
No word of a lie. Like someone got, if you Google Libertines gig Birmingham phone, basically a lad just nicked like 200 phones or something and then put them down his trousers. And then when he was leaving, obviously he had like trousers like fucking MC Hammer or something because the amount of phones that were in them. They were obviously like, hang on a minute, mate. Like, what have you got in there? And they got them all back, to be fair. So it's kind of lucky, but yeah.
Jesus. I think, pretty sure Enemy were on bill as well.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
back, aren't they? Have you seen the back?
Yeah. They're playing Leadmill.
Are they?
I don't know when it is. I thought about going to it, to be fair.
Yeah, quality. Love them, mate, to be fair.
End of the year, innit? We're going to try and drop a few emails, see if we can get on that, if we can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try and be a bit cheeky.
Quality,
Yeah, they're a class band, aren't
they gave us our first support slot, actually, the Enemy.
Really?
Yeah. That was
No
first.
way.
In fact, funny story, I were at school at the time, like year 9 or whatever. Literally, just got a phone call off our Brandon, and I was like in English. I think I cut it off, and I was texting him, and he said, "Get your stuff together. I'm picking you up in 15 minutes. We're going to Glasgow." We're supporting Enemy. And I was like, what? Right, I'm literally in my school uniform. Unless you want me to play a gig like bloody Angus Young, I need some clothes. And he went, "Ray, what do you need?" I went, "Just grab me jeans and a top and a jacket." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm picking you up in Sprinter." So I just had to basically walk out and just said to teacher, like, "I need to go." And she was sound, to be fair. I don't think she knew why, but yeah, just got picked up. All lads were in, and then we literally just went to Glasgow because it was like a last minute support slot. I don't know if the Enemy put something on the story or whatever and said the port band's dropped out tonight. Obviously, Brandon messaged them from our account, and they were like,
"Yeah, a long time ago that. I can't remember what year that was. That probably like 2015,
maybe
14, 15, gotta be.
Yeah,
That's
it were
mad.
at the garage, weren't it, in Glasgow?
Yeah, and then I think off the back of that they said, "Oh, do you want to support in Stoke and Newcastle?" Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
Class.
Yeah, you're from Birmingham, aren't you, George?
Oh, we're from like a town just outside of Brum called Kidderminster.
Well, just want to ask you about that, really. What were it like growing up there and the Birmingham scene?
To be fair, we were kind of lucky to, like, in fairness, because when we were growing up, it was like Enemy was massive at the time, and it was like Peace, Jaws. It was like this massive like B-town thing at the time. So for us, it was like this massive thing that everyone was writing about like, across the country, and it was literally happening like 20 minutes on the train away from us. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like I remember going to see Jaws at like some tiny venue. Like the next day, it was like a full like spread in the Enemy about this gig, and it was like, what, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was like mad. But it was really good. Yeah, it was really inspiring for us, really, because it was kind of like. But obviously, you can count. There's a few bands that have come out like Black Sabbath and what. Do you know what I mean? But there's at that time there wasn't really anyone doing anything that was like cool, and all that like came out, and it kind of inspired us, really, like massively inspired us. And then we just kind of carried it on, really, and just, do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, got about Jaws.
Jaws, Peace.
They're playing their last gig in April. Jaws are.
Are they?
Yeah, yeah, at the Institute in Brum. They are doing a tour.
Yeah,
like Peace have come back, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. It's only the 2 of them now, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're supporting Circle Waves on tour, aren't they? Actually.
Oh, Peace.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. We saw Peace, but I think they were knocking about. You know, when we did Victorious last year, I'm sure they were down there at the time. But yeah, it is a bit of a mad one, that, because they've gone from a 4-piece to a 2-piece, haven't they?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit more like they use like drum machines and stuff like that, which they kind of did have that like dance music influence anyway. But now it's just like really like, do you know what I mean, accentuated kind of thing. So
that's another thing we wanted to ask you as well, George. Like your influences musically, you know, like when you first started. Well, now as well, but like especially when you first started, what sort of stuff were you really listening to? Scooter, where it were like probably having a big impact on what you were doing?
I mean, when we first started, me and Luke were in like a band that were just like really, really, really dead, normal kind of middle of the road indie. And one time we went out for a smoke and we were like, oh, I really want to start a band that's like combining like dance music with indie. We don't just want to be like playing, do you know what I mean? Like, and we were just like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I really like, there's a band called Jaguar Mar. I'm not sure if you ever heard of them, but they were like kind of doing really well at the time. And me and Luke just like listened to that first album loads and loads and loads and loads. Obviously bands like Happy Mondays, Stone Roses, that sort of stuff. But yeah, we kind of like, we kind of like everything really. We're not ever like, I mean, you probably remember, but like in our dressing room and stuff, we're listening to like Robbie Williams, Skepta. It's all just like everything comes together, and then at the end of it, it just sounds like who we do. And sometimes people say stuff to us like, oh, I bet you're massive fans of this band. And we're like, never heard of them. And then we listen to and they're like, and then we're like, oh, actually, we do sound a bit like them. Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you know what I mean? We don't even really, it's just whatever comes out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're pretty similar, to be fair. We listen to all sorts of some of the stuff in dressing room. I think at one point we started going through a big, what's it called? Scooter of all people.
Have you still got that like disco light thing?
Party Rocker Max.
The Party Rocker Max.
We've got one of them now. I've grabbed one from a charity shop.
The quality. We try and take it everywhere we can. We didn't take it on that Keen tour. I don't think we're allowed it.
No, I think we made a conscious decision just to be sensible and not like
be playing Scooter
when you've got Keen next door warming up properly, and then we've got rape music on.
When we supported Madness, you remember, up in Edinburgh, and then we went to meet Suggs and the band just before they went on, and he went, yeah, your music was great, lads. He's like, was it you playing those soul numbers? I'm like, nah, we weren't playing any soul. But literally just had a lot of funk and soul on the Party Rocker Max. But yeah,
it's a great little thing, that is. That's like a proper, I always think that when you start touring with bands and stuff like that, you just pick up like different bits and bobs from like other bands and things like that. So we've got one of them speakers now from when we
with a light on front and stuff.
Can't beat it. Just adds it makes a big difference to your day, doesn't it? When you're talking.
It's a vibe. It's a whole.
Up, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. There's no worse than when you sat in dressing room, and as George will know, a lot of these dressing rooms are bombing, aren't they? Like they're cold. There's like a 2-seater, even though you might be a 4-piece man. There's a 2-seater, and then like a weird little stool, and then other ones sat on an ironing board. It's just that speaker. I think that speaker's got us through many a bad dressing rooms. To be fair,
we put it in a music video as well, didn't we?
Did you?
Put it in a music video for Sorry.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did. We had a picture of it.
Yeah.
Proper DIY.
Obviously, when you told me it was the first time, it was Ivory Waves, weren't it? And then did you just make a conscious decision to just start a fresh band with fresh ideas, or?
To be honest with you, it was kind of like we were like on a massive absolute crest of a wave kind of thing after coming off that tour with you. And then I remember our manager ringing us and they were like, do you want to book this venue, this venue? And it was like these massive venues that we were like, we're never in a million years. But then we were saying we were going to play them, and people were like, yeah, like definitely book it. So we were like on this massive crest, literally just about to book it. And then obviously COVID happened and like just shut everything down. And then, it's like a year, wasn't it, really? Until you could like do it. And then especially people always think that like COVID was only like 2 months on it. But when you, as a band or a musician, it was like more like a year, really, wasn't it? Because it's like you couldn't do anything. So we were just like basically just brought everything to a standstill, and we were just like, should we just change that? Like, do you know what I mean? Change it up a little bit and come back afresh. We had a member leave, and we were just like, let's just change. You know what I mean? Like, just change it up a little bit. Yeah. So that's what we did.
It was exactly the same with us. To be fair, I went with COVID, and it was just like. Just a mad time, weren't it, really? But I think we just put a second album out. I think that was it was about 2019, 2020 when we were touring and stuff.
Yeah. That tour was in February of 2020, that was. So it was literally like a month late. I can remember literally people being like, oh, lads, don't get used to this. You're not going to be able to be doing it. And we were like, oh, shut up, kind of thing. Yeah. And then literally, I'm not joking, we finished a night with you in Brighton, and that was the last show that we did. And then I went on our Luke's, his stag do, and then literally we came back from that on the Sunday, literally on the Wednesday, we were into lockdown. So it was just like...
Yeah, I can remember that. I can literally remember, same thing, people saying to us like, oh, don't get used to it, or apparently it's getting quite bad. And we had a tour booked in, ready to go to America, and it was like...
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we were like touch and go, like, oh, we might not be able to go. And we played, I forgot the name of the venue now, but in Southampton. Join us or... Not join us.
Engine Rooms.
Yeah, we were playing that, and then after we finished finished the gig, to get to dressing room, I think you've got to go outside and then through another little door. But yeah, I think we got told then it was like, we're not gonna America.
Then we were like, this might be kind of serious, this.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
So unaware of like how serious it was.
Yeah.
I like that venue. It's a good venue, that Engine Rooms. Yeah, quality. Have you got a favourite venue that you've played?
I did like, we played with you, like we did Rock City. That's always really good.
Yeah.
So someone jumped off the balcony when you were playing at that gig.
Really?
I was on the merch desk and like all these security came running fast and was like, walkie-talkies obviously, like someone's jumped off the balcony. And we were like, what? And then this guy was like walking out and he was like shaking his head like this. And we were like, what's going on, mate? And he was like, someone's fucking jumped off the balcony. And we were like, what? Like, I just couldn't believe it. And they were like, really? And they were like, yeah, honestly.
Some damage that, wasn't it?
I know. So yeah, Rock City, or fond memories at Rock City.
It's such a good venue, that.
Have you got a dream venue you'd like to play?
Brixton Academy, we've always said that was like, you know, our like kind of dream one. And then obviously it got shut for ages and we were like, you know, we missed the boat kind of thing on it. In fairness, the arena in Birmingham as well, that's always like because obviously I've seen, you know, like Arctic Monkeys and people out there, so it's like, that would always be amazing. And then, Wembley Arena, I guess, something like that, you know what I mean?
That's the classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wembley.
What's the writing process like with your band, George? Who starts it off?
It's me, Luke, and Connor, bass player and guitarist. We kind of like write a lot on our laptops, so we'll find like a sample or something, or like a drum loop or something like that, and then we'll write the song, and then we normally send it to Connor, who does like all our production and stuff like that, and he kind of like, it'll be, I don't know about yourselves, but like sometimes I'll use like a synthwave sounding drum sample, but I don't mean it to sound like that. It's just because at the time I'm kind of like rushing to try and get a song down as quick as you can before you lose your inspiration. And then he kind of goes, oh, it shouldn't sound like that. It should sound like this. And then he changes the drums and changes the bass line or whatever. And then it becomes like, you know what I mean? Like a Big Image song kind of thing. Because like I said, again, it's like sometimes I'll use drum and bass samples and stuff like that. And he'll be like, you can't have that, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you got how are we going to play that live? And I'm just like, oh, who cares? Like, just record it. But yeah, and then we all just come in a room together and just like throw ideas and stuff like that. There's not really one of us that writes like the whole song, if you know what I mean. It's always just like a collaborative thing where it's totally, and we're not kind of precious on stuff either. Like sometimes people will be like, why don't you change the chorus to the verse, and then do you know what I mean? The pre-chorus is the chorus and stuff like that. And it's, you know, it's just like, just have fun while we do it, really.
And then as a result of that, you end up recording it yourself as well.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. So we used to do that and then be like, right, we're ready to go in the studio now, and then do it all again, and then be like, but we liked how it sounded originally, and like it was kind of just like counterintuitive, really, and we were like, it's just so stupid. So when we recorded the last load of stuff, we just recorded it all in our we got like a little studio, and then we just sent it to a lad who does like the Chemical Brothers and stuff like that. So obviously he got the sound massively. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like interesting with that. This guy's called Steve Dubb, by the way. He's the first time that we've ever recorded someone that's like, I would be like, oh, I only recorded that backing vocal on my phone or something like that. And he'd be like, what's wrong with that? And I'd be like, you can't use that. It's recorded on my phone. And he'd be like, yeah, but do you like how it sounds? And we'd be like, well, yeah, we'll just use it then. Do you know what I mean? And it'd be like little things like that where I use like a live microphone, like a SM57, I think they are, as for like the lead vocal on like pretty much all of our vocals on like this album that we're doing. At the time I was like, you can't do that, man. You got to use like a proper 10 grand microphone or something like that. And do you know what I mean? And he was just like, you don't. You just do whatever you want. As long as it sounds good to you, it doesn't matter, you know. And that's,
there's no right or wrong, is there? That's the fun of it.
We're sort of like halfway between doing that and dipping in and out of studios and stuff. But we're finding the more albums we do, we're finding that art. Like we find ourselves keeping, especially first album is what it is, because it's like you've been playing these songs for so long, went in the studio. Second album, same thing. But I think from the third album, when Alex and Trent joined us, we started doing a similar thing. Like I used to do all my demos on my phone on GarageBand, that free version of GarageBand, and just come up with like the ideas. And then, like you say, we'd go in the studio, you try and recreate what you've done on demo, and you'd just be thinking it ain't got the magic. And like you say, you used to record, well, even on this latest album, Man on the Loose, Bones, that's like my black Fender acoustic recorded through some iPhone headphones. Yeah, it's same thing. Like we're doing that a lot more these days.
Yeah.
Or like I'm following on third album, just said to Dave, like just stick the demo solo, the solo from demo in rather than the one he'd done. And it's like, yeah, I think that's a good way of working. I think there's too much. It's not snobbery, but I think people just think because something's more expensive or because it's vintage or whatever, you're going to find all the answers. But I don't think.
I've said it before when they were chanting DMAs and stuff. They were saying the same thing, the recorded stuff. But like a lot of the vocals and like guitar solos and stuff on first album were literally done in like a home studio, like a bedroom.
Yeah.
And they recorded it and then they thought, nah, that sounds way better. So you just got to go with what sounds better.
Yeah.
Don't matter where it's recorded.
The sound, innit? That's it.
And it's sometimes like the magic, innit? It's like you're writing a song and you've recorded the vocal at like 3 a.m. sitting on your bed or something like that. Or you have to go and it's like, right, 3, 2, 1, go, and you're just like, I can't do it now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's a big thing. It's performance, isn't it? It's like delivery and everything. It's same way, even for me, like with drums and stuff. It's like you'll do something a little bit different on one take to another or whatever. But I can imagine like when you're doing guitar, like Keys, like just said, he'll record a guitar solo, but he just in that moment he probably played it better because there's not the pressure of being in the studio thinking, I need to make this sound better than.
I think
red light syndrome.
I think the what do you call it? Like when you are doing these demos or whatever, which end up becoming the final thing because you love it. It's literally because it's like impulse, isn't it? Like you're demoing, and then you're like, right, that riff sounds good. You get it down, and you're into it. In that moment, you're into that song probably more than you'll ever be again. And like you're getting guitars down, you're not checking if they're in tune. They probably slightly are, and performance isn't the best, but that's where you get the magic. And then, like you say, when you get in studio, producers like 3, 2, 1, guitar's perfectly in tune. Not to mention you've got rest at band looking at you, and it's just like you just end up with something that's really safe and not as good, basically.
Yeah. And you're on like the clock, ain't you? Do you know what I mean? It's like you've got 2 days in the studio. You need to get this single done, man. And it's like I can't. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's totally right. Yeah.
So you're fully like a DIY band?
Pretty much, yeah. I do all the artwork, videos, everything like that. Connor produces everything. Yeah, we just do it all like that. Seb does our finances. Luke writes the songs. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll just do everything ourselves. And then we have got a management, to be fair, as well. Like they just kind of look after us and make sure that everything we're doing is like steered in the right direction, kind of thing.
We're exactly the same, aren't we?
Yeah.
I feel like the industry's going a lot more that way as a whole. Anyway, I feel like everyone's kind of cottoned on now to all these big labels and stuff. It's effectively like, unless you're on a major label, I don't feel there's any need to be with a label at all. Like everything's so accessible now. If you're willing to put the work in, you'll get some results. So like we asked to leave our record label after the second album because we just felt like we could do a better job. Not do a better job, but like
do it on your own.
It stops. I think the frustrating thing with us was just having loads of conversations and too many people in between rather than just going like, this is what we want to do, let's just do it because we know our band better than anyone. So since we went independent and that, we've just gone from strength to strength. So
Rick from Shed 7, he hit nail on head. He said surely if you're making a piece of art or whatever that you love, surely you'd want full control over it. Were you signed to a label weren't you signed to a label back in early days?
So when we changed our name to Big Image, we were signed.
And how did you find working with labels?
I mean, it was like good, but it's just like, well, they were like, what kind of bands inspire you and stuff like that. And I never felt like they kind of really got us. And I think that's probably our fault as well, because you don't know, do you? You just thought, it's just me. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I'm not trying to be someone. It's just me. So I don't look at bands and go, oh, we're a bit like that. Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it was good and everything, but like, it's just, to be honest with you, like you say, it's just like you'd get to the end of it and you just be like, oh, why didn't we just do that ourselves? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I always think as well nowadays when people get like major record deals and stuff like that, like they're always like massive anyway, and you're like, why have you even signed that? Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you've got to get to a point. You've got to get to a certain point where you're attracting the labels around you anyway, and then I don't know. I feel like we are label well, this first label, BMG, I feel like the industry's changed so much since when we got signed, like, because when we did start coming through a little bit and we were on BMG, everything were like sweet on the first album, because it's like, I don't know, they were like a big buzz, like everything's like, oh, your first album's coming out, and I felt like back then labels were probably a little bit more, they had a little bit more influence over things, but I feel like the industry's changed so much since then. Like, couldn't really fault the label on the first album. It was just like, and when it got to the second one, I felt like everything was shifting slightly towards what's happening now, and I feel like if you do what's true to band or to yourself, it's like you've got it in your own hands. Then no matter what happens, you can't blame anyone. It's down to the band. So if you do well, it's down to you, and if you don't do well, it's kind of down to you as well. I prefer it. It's a lot more rewarding as well, I feel like, when you feel like you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And like as well, when things don't go as well, don't go as good as you wanted them to, it's kind of your own fault, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, fair enough. But when you're kind of like, oh, I'm so annoyed so and so didn't get, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not in your control. You're kind of like annoyed. That's how we found it anyway.
We had a lot of, I don't know if you all had this as well, but did you all have any? So when it came to writing, so I start the tunes off, even on that early stage of a song being wrote, I had to send everything. I had to send everything to to an A&R guy who would then like.
No way. That's horrible, man.
Yeah, so like, and these boys will tell you, like, I don't even finish writing a song, full stop. Before, like, last 2 albums there, I've not even wrote the songs, and we've gone into the studio. Like,
that's what we do as well. Yeah. It's never like, that's horrible.
It's an absolute nightmare to try and do the opposite. And like, oh, send me songs. Basically, so me being the A&R guy, so I can give you some notes and some pointers. But like, it were all just backwards, because the guy who's then going to give you some notes and comments on what you've come up with has never wrote a song anyway. So it's like...
Yeah. That's like mental. And as well, have you ever done that thing as that when you go into the studio and the song totally changes anyway?
Yeah.
And it like becomes something else?
Yeah,
and it's
all the time.
Yeah.
It goes through, from my side of things anyway, it always goes through like a big mill of... Kieran writes the song, as in like the bass of the song, brings it to us, we'll smash it out in practice, then we'll change stuff, normally chop quite a bit out or change bits and bobs, and then we get to a point where we're thinking, yeah, this is sounding good, this is rocking, and then you go into the studio and then it changes again after that. So it never, even if it's a tempo change or if it's just like sections moving about, or like we've had it before, like you said,
sirens.
Well, we've had things before where it were games you play or something. It didn't even have a chorus before I went into the studio. Then wrote a chorus and ended up being like one of the biggest like fan favourites on album. So there's something magical about being in the studio as well, or recording. But
I enjoy that. I think that it's what works for each band, but I think for us, just having that outside, somebody fresh coming in and going, why don't you do this, often helps us, because I feel like we maybe drag it to a same point where it's like, I don't know, I don't think we'd be as good as your guys in terms of like, seriously, like producing something, because I feel like we need that extra, like Dave or whoever
external influence on it. Fresh ears, isn't it?
Yeah. So when we did like we recorded an album, Steve would be like really good at. So Connor's like really good at playing guitar, and like literally is like the most perfect guitar player ever. And we wrote a song called Girls, which is like really. It's got like I can't remember what they're called. It's basically sounds like something like a Five would do. It's like really cheesy pop, but with like the band playing over the top of it. So it's kind of like the two opposites working together. And Connor was trying to do this guitar solo, and he just kept playing it like perfect. And Steve was like, "It's too good. Like it's too." Do you know what I mean? He was like, "George, you can play a little bit of guitar, can't you?" And I was like, "I mean, kind of." And he was like, "That's perfect, then, mate. You're gonna have to play it." So it's literally the one that's like, we probably released it this year, but I played the guitar solo on it just because it's like I'm not as good at playing. Do you know what I mean? But we would have never have thought of that. It's just because we were like, well, Connor's the guitar player. We can't do something else. It's like because he was after the sound of like this sloppiness and this messiness on the track. You know what I mean? It's just things like that you just never would have thought of yourself.
It's good.
I think.
Obviously, we've done like 5 albums now, and we've been in with 5 different producers, and it's like you pick little things up from each one as you're going along.
I didn't realise you'd worked with 5 producers. I thought you'd kind of like stayed the same after the.
No, we did one with Gav, who's from Wolverhampton. He's obviously done his first album. We've done a little
more than that, actually.
You what?
More than 5, isn't it?
What?
What, produce it?
Oh yeah, weren't we more I mean, just in terms of albums, when you're doing a piece to work as an album, like we started with Gav, then we did second album with James Skelly.
Sort of daisy chain them a little bit, weirdly. Prior to first album, we did always demos with Gav, and then talk of getting first album together, we're like, who do you want to go with? So we tried Dave Ehringer. We tried a couple, actually. I think we tried Al Groves, we tried Ehringer, we probably tried a couple more. We knew, and then first album, we're just like, let's just do what we got. Like, he's done all his early demos, he knows the sound. Did that second album. That's the only one where it was a bit of a curveball. Ended up going with James Skelly, whose sound, but we'd never even met him. We signed to do a record with him. We never even met him. Like, that's mental. Never mind, tried it. Third album went with Ehringer, who we'd tried. Fourth album went with Al Groves, who we'd tried. And then, Dave.
It always sounds like you just say, oh, it's Dave down the road.
Right, Dave.
And then Madonna. It's like one night.
Just Dave. And then when we did, but we tried him before the fourth album. So yeah, that's how we tend to do it.
Yeah, we did our EP with Steve Osborne, and we still haven't met him. We had to do it all on Zoom because it was COVID still. Yeah, so we had to we were in the studio and he was in like his house, and we had to just record something and then send it him, and then he'd mix it, and it was like crazy. Like,
that is mental.
Yeah, that is mad.
Yeah, it's quite a cool way of doing it though, because like he was out of the picture, if you know what I mean. So it was like sometimes with writing in the studio, like you say, sometimes we'll do something and spend all day on it, and then we'll listen to it back and we're like, what on earth have we done there? Like, just like in the bubble kind of thing. But because he wasn't in the bubble, he'd listen to it back and be like, this is shit, lads. Like, what have you done? Kind of thing, you know. Which it's worked. Like we recorded one song for an entire day and made it really like Massive Attack kind of sounding, and he wanted it like an acoustic kind of like just a pretty pop song really. And at the end of it he was just like, what have you done? Like, this is just not what the song needs kind of thing. And and he was right probably.
It's stories are like, and Dave Grohl done that, like got sent a tune and then played drums to it, and then
that was Everything's Electric, I think. Did he? I think he played the drums. Yeah, I think he played the drums on it. I think it was that song. I know he wrote it, but I think they said to him, we can't get the drum sound right. And he did it again. Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit what have your guys got coming up in the next, like this year basically?
Well, to be honest with you, we've just been recording a load of like new music again, and we've literally done it all totally ourselves. We've produced it and like mixed it and everything, so that we've got like 4 singles basically that we're just going to like throw out this year. Do you know what I mean? And actually keep it consistent, because like for the last couple of years we've been like a nightmare with being like, we're back, and doing like a single and then just like never having the follow-up thing behind it. Because we used to do a thing where, we're not quite this bad now, but we used to do a thing, which is early days, where we'd like write the next single. So we'd just like write as we went on. Do you know what I mean? And then we'd never like bank them kind of thing. So yeah, we're just doing that, and then we just want to play live again, to be honest with you, because last year we kind of just didn't really play as much, if you know what I mean, and we just want to be like, literally, if someone was like, do you want to come and support us in so-and-so tonight, do you want to come and play in, you know, this beer festival, do you want to do that? We just want to play anywhere, because I think sometimes you forget that's like the best part of being in a band, really. Do you know what I mean? I think people like forget the beauty of actually just playing gigs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I was gonna say, for us as well, we've always been a band that just tours so heavy, but I feel like that's how we grow our fan base. It's just playing in front of people, even if it's people like festivals, or just if we get opportunity to jump on supporting anyone. It's just, there's going to be new faces in the audience, and if you put a good show on, you're going to pick fans up, and that's what we've just, like I say, we've been in band like 15 years now, which is mental. But we're the same, just keep playing live, It's a good laugh. I think that's what bands like us need to do, is just get out there, play live, and just show people what you're about.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially after COVID, not to keep dwelling on that, but that was mental. Like, being, you know, like all gigs just being cancelled, like a live gig just all of a sudden weren't a thing. It's like, that's not happening. Mental.
We did shut down, and then they'll have to start back up, wasn't it?
Did we do like a live gig? I think we did a live gig as a
live stream gig.
Live
City
stream
Hall.
City Hall, yeah.
Weird.
Kicked into the first tune, will you be there, and then forgot the guitar solo halfway through. Oh, here we go.
Well, point. There were no, you just didn't know what, like, there were no, you couldn't see what were coming. So it was just like, right, people have started doing these these gig things and recording them and putting them out as like an alternative, and it's just didn't really work for us, did it? So weird. Playing to an empty room, getting videoed, knowing you're going to put it out, and it's like, here's a gig, everybody. It's like, so.
No.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same energy, is it? And like, even like me as like a front man and stuff like that, I'm sure you're the same. It's like, you don't even stand the same when there's not a crowd there. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's so weird, isn't it? Like, it's just, we tried to do a couple of bits and it was so expensive to get like the audio team and like the video and everything like that. And it's just like, mate, like we could just play here for like nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just crazy. Like,
so releasing a few 4 singles, did you say? And then
I think so. Yeah, we're just
dropping an album.
Yeah, we've got an album recorded and we just got it ready to go. Do you know what I mean? Because we spoke to a lot of people and they were like, literally, if you've got like your first album ready to go, so that if like you blow up overnight or something like that, you can literally just be like, see ya, you can have it, kind of thing, instead of like again taking the momentum out of yourselves by going, we need to spend 6 months in the studio. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Have you got a tour booked in? Or
no, we haven't. To be fair, need to get on a few more dates, lads.
Yeah. All right.
That's what I'm saying, man. We just want to literally just play anywhere and everywhere, really. You know what I mean?
Keep grinding.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Right, don't want to take too much of your time anyway. You've been on a fair bit now, but we're looking forward to having you on a couple of dates on our tour. If anyone's watching this who's not listened to Big Image yet, go and give him a listen. Yeah. It's going to be some tour. It's going to be mint.
Cheers, lads.
Class.
Well, thanks for taking time anyway, George.
I really appreciate it, lads. Honestly.
Cheers,
See you in May. See you later.
Yeah. See you later, buddy.
Yeah.
Everybody, that has been episode 19 of the Sherlocks podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. Our nonsense bit at the beginning. And it's chat with George from Big Image. Again, if you've not heard of them, check them out. Big Image, quality lads, really nice lads actually. And they'll be joining us on our tour in May of the UK. That weren't meant to rhyme. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you all next week, 7 p.m.
Before I forget, we're going to do the fan comments next week. So get your comments in below. Any questions?
Come on.
We'll read them out.
Yes.
And get ready for next week.
Yes.
Woo!
Big time.
Come on.
Bash.
Go on,
like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments below.
Yeah.